My intuition is telling me there'll be better days.
And what you look like, you and cut one and the other will brother. Good night. Bitch, I'm about to blow up. What's up, fam? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video was kind of like a last minute spur of the moment type of thing. I was talking to my friend the other night, and we are both like very like future oriented, and we're just always been like high achievers, I guess you would say. And what really is like kind of made me start thinking about this was a book that I recently read. I talk about it in like my best books for introverts, but it's people who are high achievers. We can always feel like we're not good enough. We just keep like, you know, going like on to the next goal, but when you like reach those goals, it's not always as fulfilling as you think it's going to be, and it doesn't last because, all right, I'm like, okay, I achieved this, all right, what's next? And so we got on the topic of if we will ever be satisfied, and I told her I was just reading this book. It talks a lot about that, and like we need to get clear on what our definition of success is, because we're both like, you know, like smart women. We're both like ICU nurses, like, you know, like some people would see us and think that we're successful, but we have accomplished this and now see that nursing isn't our path, and we know we have a lot more potential and, you know, want to follow that. So it really depends on your own personal definition of success. So that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today. But this like isn't just for people who are like high achievers. It's also like if maybe you're just trying to figure out what you want in life and what your definition of success is life, because it will help you get in tune with your personal values, and if what your picture of success is matches your values, and also if you're living in accordance to your values. So if you would like to hear me just ramble on about my definition of success, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why it's important to create your own definition of success, then keep on watching. And if you do like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Alright, so the book that kind of made me start thinking about this was Hidden Brilliance, a high achieving introvert's guide to something something by Katie. I'll put a picture of it. Alright, you guys got that? So one of her activities in the book is definition of success. Have you ever had the feeling of accomplishing something and being surprised that it didn't bring you as much fulfillment as you thought it would? I have experienced this in my own life, both when things were going perfectly and when they clearly weren't. What I have come to realize is that I was operating with a definition of success that wasn't true for me. I was trying to reach some outcome that didn't actually mean much to me, like a business objective or a key performance milestone. Instead, what if we focused all of our superpowers towards the right destination? It doesn't matter if you are in the right place in life or if you know some adjustments are in order. Things that matter most to you by getting crystal clear about how you define success. So then she goes on to talk about the hedonic treadmill or hedonic adaptation, which observes that humans eventually return to their baseline level of happiness following good or bad events. And I was actually reading about this in another book, and it talks about people who like have won the lottery. They achieve, you know, a short period of happiness, but then they ultimately go back to their same level of happiness or unhappiness that they were in before. And that's why a lot of people who win the lottery end up committing suicide, because they think money is the answer to everything, and then they get it and realize that they're still unhappy. So the happiness one experiences from a win or sorrow from a loss is often short-lived before returning to personal equilibrium. However, your baseline happiness level may grow as personal successes raise the bar on your own expectations. As your expectations rise for yourself based on past accomplishments, your definition of success evolves. As your definition of success progresses, it is important to check yourself to ensure that definition still remains in line with your personal truth. So she said, I used to define success in line with societal rewards. It is common for us to adapt the definition of success that someone told us we should have, or that we learned by gathering the context clues from what society seems to honor, like climbing the corporate ladder or going to college. In fact, I didn't realize there could be another way to define it. And that was something that was so true for me. I only saw success in, terms of like formal education. Like, you just go to college and get a degree and that's how you become successful. And it wasn't until I, completed those steps and realized, okay, I don't feel successful, I started to realize that my definition of success wasn't the definition of success that I had in mind, and that I had followed until that point, because I was following someone else's definition of success and society's definition of success, like not my own personal definition of success. So then she says, I started by beginning to think of success in bigger and longer terms. In the biggest and longest litmus test, I visualized what I wanted my final thoughts to be as I died at the end of my life. Never once have I imagined in that moment that I hope I would have worked more, answered more emails, I swear I will kill you, or that I had won more awards. In that moment of reckoning, when it all gets summed up, I would want to know with every fiber of my being that I changed people's lives for the better and made a difference in the world. So that in turn became my purpose. I am willing to believe you are reading this book because some part of you knows that what you are doing right now with your life does not fully align with the truth you are looking for on the last day of your life. Now is the day you can begin to make small changes towards the future you want. On my deathbed, I will not be thinking of accolades or those short-lived shooting star moments, but I will be cataloging whether or not I changed people's lives, whether the work I did mattered. If you imagine on your deathbed that awards and winning will be your focus, that is perfectly normal and okay, no judgment. I am simply trying to clarify the difference between when we feel successful for a moment and things that match our definition of success for long-term fulfillment. I'm sorry. I was like, don't cry, Natalie, don't cry in a video. But if I'm like being real, like I cry like on a daily basis, and these aren't like sad tears. I actually cried when I read it earlier, but like because I just relate to it so much. Like yeah, okay. I want, things I do in my life to make a difference in people's lives for the better, and I'm going to talk about that more as I get into my own personal definition of success. Okay, chill out, Natalie. So her definition of success is creating something that alters the course of the world for the better and maintaining the life I love. So then then it goes into the defining success activity. So number 1, create a vivid vision of you in your last day of life where you feel the most success, fulfillment, and love that you can imagine. What do you see? How do you know you have been successful? My previous definition of success was living up to your full potential. But now that I think about it, like I could always say I have more potential, or, that's not a very realistic definition of success. So what I came up with, okay, I have a few things. Mine's a little more detailed than hers. But did you expect anything less from me? So, my success for me is expressing myself creatively. And I, like the majority of my life, I always told myself that I just wasn't a creative person. And I guess because I wasn't like good at what you would typically call creative, like drawing or music, or I just didn't consider myself creative. And then as I got more into nursing and came more about science and everything like that, and I didn't realize how big how important it was for me to express myself creatively. So when I found, makeup, it was like an outlet for me to express myself creatively that I had been lacking for a long time. And I think if we all like go back to like our younger years, we kind of see what's important to us and some of our strengths. Like in high school, I was on the math team, but I also, during like seniors week, where you like have the competition between all the clubs, like I wrote our skit and it won first place. Like I go back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was creative. I just didn't see it. I was, creative in a different way than I, typically thought a creative person would be. But I see, those things in my younger self. And then like in your 20s, I don't know, I just felt like I was trying to conform. And now I'm realizing that the things that made me different, that's what makes me unique, and I should be embracing them. So that expressing myself creatively is definitely very important to me. So next is changing the world and the people I encounter for the better. I don't know if this is because I'm an INFJ or I just have a very deep-seated desire to make like an impact on the world for the better in some way. And like one of the like very profound books that I've read in my extensive book history is Think and Grow Rich, and it basically talks about in order to become rich, you need to create something that like is uniquely you and provides value to someone else. And that's what I am trying to do. I'm trying to like express myself creatively and also like changing the world at the same time. So, and I just hope that I make like a positive difference in all of the lives that I encounter on a daily basis. So next, success for me is being financially free and not having to clock in and out for somebody else, just being my own boss. That is, because I am an INFJ, we do not like being told what to do, and I just need to be my own boss. And I think that I, will be good at it. I think I have a lot of leadership qualities that I don't necessarily embrace when I'm at work, because I feel like I've already emotionally moved on from nursing, and like it almost doesn't feel like that's my life anymore, even though it is such a big part of my life. Think that I have been doing that through making videos, and I think that's why they make me so happy. It's just knowing that maybe I can help someone else go through something that I've gone through. And my last one is doing what makes you happy. I just wanted to include that in there with the emphasis on me, because the majority of my life has always been on what I thought I should do, or what I thought my mom would want me to do, or what society would want me to do, and I didn't really do what made me truly happy. So I'm just all about doing what authentically makes me happy and being unapologetic for being myself. So yeah, so she says, all right, it's the rest of the activity. Number 2, how do you ensure your final days align with your vision in 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year? And I think what I chose is pretty broad. It's not there. It includes my core values, I feel, and they're going to be like good definitions of success for the rest of my life. It's not just, like my next achievement or whatever, but something that I hope I can just do every day. Number 3, what is your definition of success? Is it big enough and far-reaching enough that it goes beyond your life now, the job you have now, or your immediate fulfillment? I definitely think it goes beyond my life now. Yeah, I am not able to do a lot of the things that I included in my definition of success with my life now. So these are all things that I hope I am headed in the right direction towards, and that my actions reflect these values, and that my actions will bring me to my definition of success. Number 4, does your definition of success unwaveringly align with your personal values? I think so. I know so. Sound a little more confident in your decisions, Natalie. Yes, I do. Number 5, would you be proud to tell yourself and others your definition of success? Yeah, well, clearly that's what I'm doing right now. So yes, I would be proud. All right, number 6, how do you detach your value from the outcome or your accomplishments? Ooh, I don't know. That is something that I am working on. I have to realize that I'm not what I accomplish, I guess. Really, Natalie, twice in a video? Oh my god. And it's especially hard for me now, like, dealing with my pain, because I have so many limitations that I didn't have before. You know, I have so many things that I want to do and accomplish, but my body's only allowing me to accomplish so much, and it's been hard coming to grips with that. So I definitely that's something I need to work on, is detaching my value from my accomplishments, because if I do that, I'll just be setting myself up for failure, because I'm not able to accomplish as much as what I was before, but that doesn't mean I'm any less valuable as a person. And number 7, what are you so afraid of? It's a good question. I did not plan on this being such an emotional video. I wanted it to be like a happy, uplifting one. And I just need to keep these definitions of success in my mind and realize that, like, you know, each little, like, accomplishment or failure, like, isn't going to make that much of a difference in the end. What are the things that really matter to you? And these are the things that really matter to me. And yeah, so I hope this video inspired you to think about what your personal definition of success is, and to kind of compare your life now and your definition of success and see how they match, and hopefully you are headed in a path that will align with your personal values. And yeah, alright guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.